Welcome, my favorite people, the rare gems. Have you ever been told you're too quiet, too different, or that you don't fit in? Maybe you felt out of place in social settings, like everyone else is playing a game you don't care to join. Let me tell you something. What others label as socially awkward could be your hidden genius. Sigma females don't follow the crowd or waste energy on meaningless interactions. You're not awkward, you're selective. You'd rather spend your time in deep thought, observing the world and connecting with people who truly matter. That's not a weakness, that's power. The truth is, society struggles to understand those who live outside the box, and that's where you thrive. Your silence is your strength. Your authenticity is your superpower. You see things others miss, and you bring a depth that leaves a lasting impact. So is it awkwardness or brilliance? I'll let you decide. Watch this video to discover why your so-called flaws might just be the reason you're unstoppable. This isn't just a label. It's who you were meant to be. Stay true to yourself and embrace your Sigma nature. Stay tuned and let's dive in. Number 1. Observing first, speaking later. Silence can be powerful, but it's often misunderstood. For Sigma females, this silence isn't awkwardness or insecurity. It's intentional. When they enter a room, they don't rush to fill the air with chatter. Instead, they step back, listen, and observe. This isn't a passive approach. It's a calculated strategy. They're picking up on unspoken dynamics, reading between the lines, and noticing the subtle shifts in tone, posture, and energy that others often miss. While most people jump into conversations to make their presence known, Sigma females understand the value of holding back. They know that speaking too soon can reveal your cards, while silence keeps others guessing. Their quietness gives them time to assess who is genuine, who is posturing, and who might be worth their energy. They're not being shy. They're gathering intel, processing everything at a deeper level, and deciding how to navigate the situation on their own terms. This ability to observe before engaging is what sets them apart. It's why they often come across as mysterious or hard to read. They refuse to waste words on meaningless chatter or perform for attention. And when they do speak, their words carry weight because they've taken the time to understand the moment fully. So the next time someone mistakes their quietness for awkwardness, they might want to consider this. The Sigma female isn't unsure of herself. She's just 10 steps ahead, waiting for the perfect moment to make her move. Number 2. They ask the questions you're afraid to answer. When a Sigma female speaks, it's never just to fill the silence, it's to cut through it. Her questions don't dance around the surface or stick to what's safe. Instead, they dive straight into the uncomfortable, the complex, and the hidden truths most people are too afraid to confront. She's not interested in small talk or polite exchanges that avoid the heart of the matter. She wants to know what's real, even if it shakes you. Her questions often catch people off guard. They're sharp, unfiltered, and demand more than a rehearsed response. Why do you believe that? Is that what you really want? Or just what you've been told you should want? What are you afraid of losing? These aren't easy questions, but they're not meant to be. They're designed to strip away the masks people wear and expose what's beneath. This tendency can make some people uncomfortable, even defensive. But that discomfort is part of her brilliance. She challenges the status quo, not to provoke, but to understand and reveal deeper layers of truth. Her ability to ask these questions shows a rare level of emotional and intellectual depth, the kind that leaves a lasting impression on those willing to engage. While others avoid the tough conversations, Sigma females lean into them. They aren't afraid of awkwardness or tension. They know that's where real growth and understanding happen. And in a world full of noise, their fearless curiosity is a breath of fresh air. Number 3. They can mirror genius or madness. Sigma females operate on a wavelength most people aren't tuned into. Their thinking isn't linear or conventional, and because of this, it can be easily misunderstood. To the average person, their ideas might seem eccentric, overly complex, or even chaotic. But what looks like madness to some is often pure genius in disguise, a perspective so outside the norm that it takes time for others to catch up. They approach problems from angles no one else would consider, connecting dots that seem unrelated at first glance. This ability to think unconventionally allows them to create solutions that are bold, innovative, and often ahead of their time. While others are stuck following the same tried-and-true methods, Sigma females are busy rewriting the rules. Of course, this can make them appear out of sync with the rest of the world. Their thoughts may seem too abstract or their ideas too ambitious. In the moment, it's easy for others to dismiss their approach as strange or impractical. But when the dust settles, those same people often find themselves marveling at the results, realizing the Sigma female saw possibilities no one else could see. Their brilliance lies in their ability to embrace what others might call madness and channel it into something extraordinary. They don't need immediate validation because they know that true visionaries are rarely understood right away. Whether seen as a genius or an oddity, one thing is certain: they leave a mark that's impossible to ignore. Number 4. Awkwardness as a social weapon. What many perceive as awkwardness in Sigma females is actually a subtle, intentional tactic. Their social unpredictability, pauses in conversation, unconventional responses, or a seemingly out-of-place silence, disrupts the typical flow of interaction. It makes people pause, reassess, and, most importantly, underestimate them. This isn't accidental. Sigma females understand how to use their perceived awkwardness to their advantage. In personal settings, this disarming quality keeps others guessing. When someone is unsure of what to expect, they become less calculated and more genuine, often revealing things they wouldn't otherwise share. The Sigma female's unpredictability creates an unbalanced dynamic that allows her to observe and assess with greater clarity. In professional environments, this trait becomes even more powerful. While others might be vying for attention or trying to dominate conversations, the Sigma female's reserved demeanor can shift the focus to her in unexpected ways. Her ability to stay calm and collected while others scramble to fill the silence exudes a quiet confidence that commands respect. What's most fascinating is how this awkwardness flips the script. While society often pressures people to conform to predictable social norms, the Sigma female thrives by doing the opposite. She turns what could be seen as a weakness into a strength, leveraging it to navigate situations with a level of insight and control that catches others off guard. Her unpredictability isn't awkward at all. It's a calculated strategy that keeps her one step ahead. Number 5. Nonlinear thinking patterns. Sigma females have a way of thinking that defies traditional logic. While most people approach problems step by step following a predictable path, Sigma females take a completely different route. Their minds move in loops, spirals, and unexpected tangents, connecting seemingly unrelated ideas in ways others wouldn't even consider. This nonlinear thinking isn't chaotic, it's creative. It's the reason they often arrive at solutions that conventional approaches can't reach. This thought process allows them to see beyond the obvious. They're not limited by the boundaries of how things should be done or stuck following rigid patterns. Instead, they explore multiple angles, questioning assumptions and weaving together ideas from different areas of knowledge. Their thought patterns might seem scattered to an outsider, but they're anything but. These layers and loops are precisely why their solutions are often so unique and effective. This approach shines brightest in situations where traditional methods fail. When others are stuck, running in circles, Sigma females cut through the noise by reimagining the problem itself. Their ability to think in layers means they consider not just what's in front of them, but what's beneath the surface and what could be around the corner. It's this kind of thinking that sets them apart, not just as problem solvers, but as visionaries. Their nonlinear minds aren't just different for the sake of being different. They're powerful tools that allow them to innovate, adapt, and thrive in ways most people can't even begin to understand. We appreciate you, rare gems, for being a treasured subscriber. Your consistent support is vital to us and fuels our passion for delivering meaningful content. Thank you for your engagement and encouragement. Number 6. Purposeful social withdrawal. Sigma females have a unique relationship with socializing. While others may thrive on constant interaction, they understand the power of purposeful withdrawal. They don't retreat from social situations because of fear or discomfort. They step back because they recognize the importance of solitude in fostering personal growth or fueling creative pursuits. Their absence isn't a sign of weakness or social awkwardness. It's a deliberate choice to invest in themselves, reflect, and recharge. In a world that constantly demands attention, Sigma females know the value of quiet time to cultivate their ideas, refine their skills, or simply reconnect with their inner self. This period of withdrawal is when their minds are free to wander without distraction, allowing them to tap into their creativity or gain deeper insights. It's not isolation for isolation's sake. It's a necessary retreat to do the work that others might miss in the noise of everyday life. What's fascinating is the effect their absence has on others. While they're away, people begin to wonder about them, speculate about what they're doing, and perhaps even admire their ability to disappear without feeling the need to justify it. When they reappear, they often bring something new, whether it's an innovative idea, a fresh perspective, or a level of personal growth that others can't help but notice. Their time away may be quiet, but it's never wasted. The brilliance they cultivate in solitude always shines brighter when they choose to return. Number 7. Neutral zones are their battlefield. Sigma females have an uncanny ability to remain neutral, especially in group dynamics where tensions and alliances are constantly shifting. While others might get pulled into the drama or politics of choosing sides, they effortlessly maintain their distance, observing from the sidelines without ever getting caught up in the chaos. This neutrality isn't out of indifference, it's a strategic choice. By staying out of the fray, they not only avoid unnecessary conflict, but also gain a unique vantage point. Their ability to stay above the noise makes them both respected and enigmatic. People notice that no matter what's happening around them, they remain calm, collected, and unflappable. This mysterious air, combined with their ability to stay out of others' battles, only adds to their allure. They're not swayed by the opinions or emotions of those around them, which gives them an almost otherworldly sense of power and independence. Moreover, this neutrality allows Sigma females to maintain their integrity in ways that others often can't. While others might align themselves with certain groups or ideologies to gain favor, Sigma females refuse to compromise their values for the sake of belonging. They know that true respect comes from standing firm in who you are, not from following the crowd. Their neutral stance allows them to observe, strategize, and make decisions from a position of clarity and strength. And while others may be busy picking sides, the Sigma female is already one step ahead, untouched by the drama, and ready to make her next move with precision. Number 8. Society can't define them, so it labels them. When society encounters someone who doesn't fit neatly into a predefined box, it often resorts to labeling. For the Sigma female, this mislabeling takes the form of terms like awkward or odd, aimed at simplifying what can't be easily understood. But this judgment isn't a reflection of her true nature. It's a testament to society's inability to grasp the complexity and brilliance she possesses. Sigma females don't follow the script that society has written for most people. They don't adhere to conventional expectations, and they aren't interested in fitting in just for the sake of approval. Because of this, their behavior, demeanor, or even silence can often be misinterpreted as discomfort or social ineptitude. However, this labeling is less about her and more about the narrow lens through which society tends to view individuality. The reality is, the Sigma female's awkwardness isn't a flaw, it's a powerful form of authenticity. It's her refusal to conform, her rejection of social pressures to perform, and her commitment to being unapologetically herself. This defies the typical narratives of what's considered normal or acceptable. While others may reduce her to a label they can understand, it's only a reflection of their inability to categorize someone with such deep layers of thought and purpose. In truth, the Sigma female's uniqueness isn't something to be fixed. It's her greatest strength. Society may try to define her, but ultimately, it's her ability to remain undefinable that makes her truly remarkable. Number 9. Intentional isolation, not awkwardness. Sigma females often choose isolation, but it's not out of social ineptness. It's because they recognize the toll that shallow, meaningless interactions take on their energy. While many people thrive in constant social engagement, Sigma females find these surface-level conversations draining, leaving them feeling disconnected rather than fulfilled. For them, true value isn't found in small talk or fleeting social norms. It's in deep, meaningful exchanges that allow them to explore ideas and thoughts with substance. Their decision to isolate is rooted in self-awareness and the understanding that solitude is essential for their well-being. It's in these quiet moments alone that they can truly recharge, reflect, and dive into their inner world without distractions. Far from being lonely or socially awkward, they're simply selective about how they invest their time and energy. This time alone allows them to process the world in their own unique way, giving them the space to grow, think, and create. Solitude isn't a sign of weakness for Sigma females. It's a necessity. It's where they reconnect with themselves, explore their passions, and sharpen their minds. And when they do engage with others, it's with purpose and intention, not out of obligation. So while others may misunderstand their need for isolation, it's precisely what enables them to maintain their brilliance, clarity, and strength in a world full of noise. But number 10, social rejection is their superpower. For Sigma females, rejection isn't a fear, it's a reality they've already come to terms with. While others spend their energy trying to avoid it, they've learned to embrace it. They know their way of thinking, their choices, and even their silence can make others uncomfortable. And that's fine by them. They're not here to please everyone. In fact, they expect to be misunderstood or dismissed. It's part of living outside the usual boxes society creates. This mindset is their superpower. By removing the fear of rejection, they free themselves from the chains of approval. They don't waste time second-guessing their decisions or diluting their ideas to make them more palatable. Instead, they lean fully into who they are and what they believe, even if it means standing alone. Rejection, to a Sigma female, is information. It tells them who aligns with their values and who doesn't. It filters out the noise and helps them focus on what truly matters. While others crumble under the weight of being excluded, Sigma females use that space to grow stronger, more focused, and more independent. Their boldness comes from knowing that rejection isn't a threat, it's a tool. It sharpens their vision, solidifies their resolve, and pushes them to explore paths others are too afraid to consider. In the end, their ability to face rejection without flinching is what sets them apart, giving them the freedom to live boldly and authentically, no matter who approves. Number 11, authenticity over performance. In a world obsessed with appearances, Sigma females stand apart by refusing to fake it. They don't adjust themselves to fit in, put on a show to impress, or pretend to enjoy what they don't. They show up exactly as they are, raw, unfiltered, and unapologetically real. While others rehearse their lines or carefully craft their personas, Sigma females let their authenticity do the talking. This choice often makes them stand out in social settings, but not always in ways people immediately understand. To some, their refusal to conform feels offbeat or even awkward. They don't laugh at jokes they don't find funny. They don't follow trends just because everyone else does. They don't force smiles when they're not feeling it. It's not rudeness, it's honesty. And while this might make them harder to figure out, it's also what makes them unforgettable. People secretly admire this kind of bold authenticity, even if they don't say it out loud. In a world where so much feels staged and superficial, the Sigma female's unpolished realness is refreshing. She gives others permission to drop their masks, even if only for a moment. But her authenticity isn't just for show, it's a statement. It says, "This is me, and I'm not here to perform for you." She doesn't seek validation from others because her value comes from within. And in the end, that quiet confidence is what leaves the biggest impression. Real recognizes real, and few are as real as a Sigma female. Number 12. Their conversations demand substance. For Sigma females, small talk is an exhausting chore. They don't find enjoyment in the casual chit-chat that fills most social interactions. Conversations about the weather, gossip, or trivial topics feel like a waste of time to them. Empty exchanges that fail to connect on a meaningful level. They may seem socially awkward or distant in these moments, but it's not because they're uncomfortable. It's simply that their minds crave depth and substance, not shallow pleasantries. This doesn't mean they avoid socializing altogether. Rather, they seek out conversations that matter, ones that allow them to engage with the world in a way that challenges their thinking. When they do find an opportunity to dive into a deep discussion, it's like a light turns on. Suddenly they become animated, speaking with clarity and passion, offering insights that others rarely consider. Their perspective is unique, often revealing hidden truths or offering wisdom that people didn't even know they needed. It's in these profound exchanges that Sigma females truly shine. They don't just talk for the sake of talking. They bring value to the conversation. And when they speak, it's not just to fill the silence, but to push the dialogue into new, unexplored territories. It's no surprise that those lucky enough to have these deeper interactions with them leave in awe, having experienced a conversation that actually matters. So, the next time someone labels you as socially awkward, remember that it's not a reflection of your worth or abilities. It's simply their misunderstanding of who you truly are. Sigma females don't fit neatly into the mold that society expects. They stand apart because they think deeper, observe more carefully, and refuse to settle for shallow interactions. Their genius doesn't lie in fitting in, it lies in their ability to remain true to themselves while seeing the world from a perspective most people will never understand. Being a Sigma female means rejecting the pressure to conform, embracing your quiet strength, and knowing that the depth you bring to any conversation is your superpower. You're not defined by labels, and your silence is not weakness. It's your power to choose when and how to engage. So if you've ever felt like you don't belong, take a moment to realize that your uniqueness is exactly what sets you apart. It's time to own it. Watch this video, embrace your genius, and know that you are exactly where you're meant to be. Take care and see you in our next video. God bless.